Hey eBay sellers, it's Suzanne A. Wells, and I wanted to share this fun story with you. I was out thrifting yesterday and actually didn't even find this hidden gem until I got home and was going through everything. I was at a thrift store, not Goodwill, but a kind of junky one near where I live, where I check in every now and then. And I was looking through the bagged items. Normally, I'm looking for needlework stuff, accessories, yarns that might have been discontinued, stuff like that. And I saw this one bag and I started looking through the bag, okay? Not opening it, just kind of turning it over and looking at what's inside. And so I did see a bunch of little junky stuff, made in China, a Pier 1 thing, which turned out to be a salt shaker, but it didn't have a plug in the bottom. Lots of made in China stuff, this Walmart candle holder, and then I saw this Lennox piece. And okay, Lennox is kind of expensive, or it can be. So I looked up this line, which is called American Design by Alice Drew, and go on eBay, and there isn't any. Okay, so that can be good or bad. It can mean it's rare and discontinued, nobody has any, or nobody really cares about it. So I went to Replacements Limited on my phone and noticed that this has been discontinued. This was a partnership between Lennox and an artist named Alice Drew, and it was a collage series with flowers and butterflies and that kind of thing on it. So that's all I needed to know, because for $3, something in this bag is discontinued and it's not even on replacements.com, then that's probably a good thing that's going to work in my favor. Okay, so no problem, threw that in the cart, bought that. I get home and I'm taking everything out of the bag and like, okay, what else is in here? Is there anything I could use for myself or anything else I might be able to sell? And of course, you see the ceramic measuring cups there, and I did list those already and put 30 bucks on those because it's not a complete set. There are a couple of other sets on eBay, but it's three out of the four cups. So that was enough for me. It's an interesting item. It's probably collectible, and I'll follow up whenever that sells. So then I pick up this red dragon, and it's glass, and it's really heavy. I'm like, this is very high quality. This is lead crystal, okay? I start looking at it, and on the bottom, I see Lalique of France. I'm like, okay, we may have something here. And if we go back to the bag, you I recreated this to make the video, but it was shoved way in the middle. So I never even saw it. It was just shoved in the middle underneath all of these dollar store things. Okay. And they don't want you to open the bags before you buy them. Yes, people do, but I try to respect the thrift store rules because I don't want to be banned for life and I just don't want to be disrespectful. So I see what I can see, and then if I want to buy it, I buy it. Okay. So Lalique, if you are not familiar with this brand, it is a famous glassware brand. They are known for their perfume bottles. We go on their website, it's got this part on the history of the company. 1907, they start a partnership with Coty, which was Coty Fragrances, and they also had a glassworks factory where they make beautiful, heavy lead crystal sculptures, home decor, art, and the pieces can be thousands of dollars retail. So I already knew this name, so we're going to research this further. I go on Google and just put in Lalique Red Dragon, and over on the side there you can see everything that came up and the prices. Okay, where it is on the internet for sale and for how much. So you can see these prices are over $200, some close to $300. Now that's for a brand new piece. So I'm not going to get that price because mine's not brand new. But I did list it for just under $200 because some had sold in the past for around that. In used condition, they had sold for that much. And there is a small defect under one of the feet. There is a little chip, but it's in a place that is not noticeable. So a collector may not care. They may not want it new in the box. Or a lot of the ones that are for sale on these other websites and eBay are new in the box and they've got them priced at like 295. So that's quite a discount if somebody is looking for this item. And it turns out that this was made in 2012 because that was the year of the dragon. So it was very interesting to research all of this, and I was so thrilled that like, oh, I've got something kind of amazing here. And so you just never know when these things are going to pop up in front of you. So the takeaway from this experience that I wanted to share with you is that try new things, move out of your comfort zone. I get so stuck in the clothes because that's what I like to do. And I really have to make a deliberate effort to look at different things sometimes because it can be overwhelming when you walk into a thrift store and you see this and it's all looks the same to you. It's like, is this a 50-year-old vintage item or is this something that Target made last week? You don't know. And that's the way it is for me on these kinds of home decor items. It can be overwhelming. So I understand that. But you want to challenge yourself to try new things every time you go in a thrift store and spend 10 or 15 minutes learning something new, looking at a different section, looking through things because you don't even know what you're going to stumble on. The next takeaway is that thrift stores cannot possibly catch every valuable thing that comes in. I see this so much on the YouTube comments and just in discussions on Facebook that, my thrift store prices everything too high. They know what's valuable and they jack up the prices on those items. Okay, well they know some things, but the objective is to stay ahead of the curve, to know more than they do because they can't possibly catch everything that comes in. This is what the back of a small thrift store looks like. It's just so much stuff to go through, and there's human beings doing it. And it takes time and it takes concentration, and there's just no way they can catch every single valuable thing. And I'm proof of that because I find things all the time that should have been marked up. Goodwill has that boutique section where they put things in there that may have a price tag on it. Maybe it's a Target item or a Walmart item, but out on the sales floor, there's all kinds of designer items, vintage items that are worth money, and they can't catch every single thing. The volume of what is being donated is just massive, and it's not going to stop, and it's not going to slow down anytime soon. So you have to go into this with the attitude of, I'm going to find good things. There's plenty here for everybody. I know different things than the thrift store knows, and we all know different things as resellers. So there's opportunity for everybody. I could not care less about like men's shoes or tools or sporting goods. I just That's not interest me. And I'm sure there's a lot of things in those categories that sell for a lot of money. Electronics, I just cannot get excited about it. So I don't even care. I'm not going to sell that stuff. And that's an opportunity for somebody else. So if you're stuck in this mindset of, I never find anything, this is too hard, my thrift store knows how to price everything up, they know what everything is, that's just wrong. I mean, there's too many resellers who are successful with this because you constantly increase your knowledge and you just stay ahead of the curve so that you know more than the thrift store does. And also, there are human beings in there sorting through the stuff, pricing the stuff. There's a lot of turnover in the big national chains, Goodwill, Salvation Army, Savers, all those kind of stores, there's a lot of turnover of employees. So every time somebody new starts, they've got to learn about, what's valuable and what's not through the sorting process. So you just don't know what little gems are hidden in there. And then another takeaway from this experience is that the item I found, which was around a $200 item, was not in the special overpriced boutique section, even though that store had a section like that with what they thought was expensive items. And usually it's fake purses because they don't know what a fake handbag is and they just stick it in there and price it too high. Or sort of junky costume jewelry that's not worth much. I just haven't had much success finding anything with much room for profit in the special boutique section because they've got it priced too high. So normally I don't even look anyway. But this item was not even in there. They missed it. They missed a $200 item and shoved it in a bag with a bunch of dollar store junk. So if this can happen to me, it can happen to you. And it's not because I've been doing this since 2003 and I have some kind of special abilities, where I can have x-ray vision and see what's in these bags. That would be nice. But this happened to me and it can happen to you. So I just want to encourage you to think positive about this kind of thing is that you don't ever know what you're going to find. Keep an open mind and just realize that the amount of stuff out there is absolutely overwhelming and there is plenty for everyone. There's plenty to go around. And sometimes valuable things are hiding in plain sight and they're right in front of you and you just don't even know it. So I hope that gets you excited to get out there and go thrifting and look for some different things. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. Please do not go and buy 100 of these little bags thinking that there's going to be a surprise in every one of them, because I don't want to be responsible for that. But just realize that thrift stores, they can't know everything. And there's just too much stuff. There's just way too much stuff. And sometimes, probably more often than we know, things slip through and you get a little hidden gem in there and a little surprise when you get home and it all works out. So I would love your comments below if this kind of thing has happened to you and you didn't realize you had something really valuable till you got home with it, because I'm sure this is more common than we know, and it would be great to have a discussion about this type of thing to encourage everyone else and to get you motivated to keep moving forward with this. Real quick, I want to give you an update on my premium content library. I have been doing this now for 1 year, and as of June 2nd, 2019, there are 164 videos with 60 hours of education, meaning you could let the videos play for 2.5 days and that's the amount of content there is. So it's a huge amount of content that has been built up over this time frame. Also, in the premium library, I have the table of contents that you can download for free just to see what's in there. And this is always updated every time I add something new. So let me just run through real quick what is in there if you have not given this a try, because I guarantee you're going to learn something new and your business is going to improve. So there is a beginner section where there is a 75-minute course and some tutorials. This is great if you haven't even started yet or if you've only been a buyer and not a seller. Also, this membership comes with unlimited email support. So you can ask as many questions as you want by email and I respond within 24 hours, usually less, much less. So I'm right there to help you with any questions you have. There is a buying for resale section, which helps you understand how to buy things if you're going to resell them. There's a complete estate sale guide that's a 2-hour course. And then we've got the Time Wasters series, which I explain things that don't waste your time selling these items because either they are not going to make you any money or they're too much hassle or they're shipping concerns or something like that. So, got a bunch of videos in that series. And then I've got a virtual picking course, which is an hour and a half of how to buy things online for resale, being a picker just like you are in a thrift store, but doing it online on eBay. And this is great if you're disabled, if you're a caregiver and you can't get out, or you have a lot of children at home and your time is not your own, or you're working a full-time job and you don't have time to go thrifting. So it's a great way to get inventory to flip just using eBay. There's a section on cleaning hacks, so lots of interesting stuff there. And then my Disney series, which is very popular because Disney is highly collectible and there's so much of it. Then there's a section on consumables. These are things that get used up that people don't realize have value, and how to identify what they are, where to get them. And then I have a list of discontinued items that you can download, print out, and study or keep with you. Another part of that series is the embarrassing products course, which you will find very interesting if you've never thought about why people would buy embarrassing products online. There's an entire section about conquering your eBay fears because I hear I'm scared to or I'm afraid to all the time. And we're going to work through all those issues so that you understand there's nothing to be afraid of. You can do this. Then I've got a section on ephemera, which is basically paper stuff that is, I'm constantly adding to that. So we've got some interesting courses in there. Then the frequently asked questions section. This is where you'll find eBay updates, changes to the eBay platform, as well as just those frequently asked questions that a lot of newer people have. And then we've got the member Q&A in there, which is usually monthly, and that's just a bunch of random questions by other sellers that is very educational to listen to and hear all those answers, because if one person asked it, more people are going to have that question. That I have an index where everything is organized in alphabetical order, just like in the back of a book, so you can find what you need quickly, because this is a lot of information and you may think, oh, well, I know I heard about that, but I don't remember what video it was in. So this will help you find it quickly. I've got an entire section on international selling. And again, you get that email support. So if this is something that's holding you back, we can work through it together. I'm here for you every step of the way. Then I've got a materials section. Everything is downloadable. And this is great because there are a bunch of letters that are responses to common situations that happen on eBay. So I alluded to in one video, if you can't ship an item for some reason and you don't want to cancel it by seller request, there's a workaround for that. It's in here under the customer letters. So if you do nothing else, come join the premium library, download all those letters, and you'll be set going forward. That comes from my days at the bank where we had everything in a policies and procedures manual. And if you didn't know how to handle a situation, you would go to that manual. It would tell you exactly what to say, exactly what to do, and how to handle these common situations. So this is great for newer people who may be a little shy or afraid to engage in conversation with their customers, because an eBay business is, for a lot of people, their first home business and their first business where they have to give customer service. So this is very helpful if you're new to the playing field there. I've got a whole section on photography, how I do things, what tools you really need, what you don't need. This will make your pictures so much better, and that's what's going to sell your items. I've got another section on research, because looking at completed listings is not all there is. There are a lot of things that come up that you may not know how to do, so you can use other websites and other techniques to find what you need. There's also an intensive course on Terapeak because with your store subscription, you get a free version of Terapeak, and a lot of people don't know what to do with that. So I have created, it's almost an hour long course on how to use it, what to do with that free subscription. So you want to leverage what you're paying for there. You're paying for it through your store subscription. Then I've got a whole section on search engine optimization, some store critiques to show you what you can do better, and then a section on technology tips. This is going to help you leverage that phone in your hand because so many people don't know all the things it can do. And these things are going to make your business more efficient and they're going to save you time. So I'll be the first one to say, I don't know all the things my phone can do. My kids tell me stuff all the time. And it's just people don't maximize the capabilities of that smartphone. They don't even know all the things it can do. So these videos will show you the power that you have right there in your hand that you don't even realize. There is a trash to cash section where things you're probably throwing away at home you can sell. I've got a trends section with where I spotlight a certain trend that's going to help you understand the keywords to use to sell your item better in association with that trend. And then we've got the what to sell section where we've got certain courses on specific items, such as coffee mugs is an entire course, medical items, things that you don't even know what they are, but you can sell them. So that's really helpful, especially in this day and age with our aging population. These things get donated when people are done with them. We've got the needlework course, very specific things to look for there. Then we've got niche items of the month. I have a couple of videos on YouTube that I've shared, but this is where you're going to learn very specific items to look for and why people want them. Another section called What is this and how much does it sell for? These are common items that you see in a thrift store, but you don't know what they are. What is that thing? I see that thing all the time. I don't even know what it is. This will help you identify it and show you how much it sells for. And then the women's clothing section, which is my specialty, we've got an entire anthropology course. We've got a brand spotlight section. We've got a Chico's clothing course. We've got clothing selling tips, everything from authenticating, cleaning, measuring, storage tips, photo hacks, all that stuff. And then another thing is the thrift shopping lists where you can print these out because I have put these together with pictures showing you items to be on the lookout for, whether it's clothing labels, those medical items, niche items, your discontinued items. You can print all of that out. So if you have not tried the premium library, now is the time because it is so packed with information. You can download every single thing in the library and discontinue your membership and never come back. And that's totally fine. No pressure at all. I just want to show you what's possible. And this is basically my way of doing a brain dump with my experience on eBay since 2003. I have learned a lot and I'm sharing every single thing I know with you in this library. So come check it out. Thanks so much for watching. Would love your comments below and have a profitable and productive day on eBay. Bye.